Yeah. So what is a data mart? It is a subset of a data warehouse. Right? අර ලොකු warehouse එකකින් පොඩි piece එකක් තමයි data mart එකක් කියලා කියන්නේ. So data mart එකක මොකද්ද තියෙන purpose එක? Special feature එක summarized or highly focused portion of firm's data for use by specific population of users. So what is special about a data mart? The data inside a data mart is very summarized as well as it's highly focused data, right? It is specific to a certain purpose, right? If you want very focused data which is helpful to make specific decisions, you can maintain a separate data mart, right? Which only includes data specific to that subject area only, right? Let's say you want to perform sales analysis, you can only maintain a separate data mart only including sales data. Let's say only inventory data within a huge data warehouse which contains sales data, product related, inventory related data, right? Then customer related data. So from this huge data warehouse, you can maintain a separate data mart, which is only focusing for production related data. If you want to make production, let's say, related decisions, product related decisions, only data mart for that specific purpose, right? So it's used by specific population of users. Let's say only the production department wants to use this. So they have their own separate data mart. Typically focuses on a single subject or a line of business. Like I mentioned, maybe specific subject areas or maybe single line of business. Let's say if we take an example like Unilever, they are a conglomerate, highly diversified. They can have a separate data mart which is focusing only on a separate line of business. Let's say maybe only personal care items, right? Maybe only home care. Likewise, they can. It's very business specific, right? Then, so now you have an idea about how these data warehouses and data marts can be helpful in gathering this big data and helpful in analyzing these kinds of different data, right? Then also there are certain analytical tools which help us to identify relationships between data, different patterns and different trends, which we don't usually see in a relational database, right? So there's a question, is it similar to traditional filing? No, it is not at all similar to traditional filing system. Why? Because at the beginning of the lecture also I told, what is a major drawback of the traditional filing system? The data is not integrated, right? They are maintained in separate different divisions or departments. There is no coordination. Single data is multiplied in several locations. But is it the case when it comes to a data warehouse? No. I told that a data warehouse, it's specifically considered about integration, right? I told you 4 features of these data warehouses identified in the definition provided by W.H. Inman also, right? So there you can identify that there's a very clear difference between a traditional filing system and a data warehouse, right? Traditional filing system is not even recommended anymore when it comes to these types of applications, right? Right. So then what are the analytical tools which can help us to analyze these types of different data in different dimensions, right? Then relational database එකක් ගත්තොත් අපිට dimensions දෙකයිනේ උපරිම තියෙන්නේ නේ. ගොඩක් dimensions අපිට නෑ data analyze කරන්න. Rows and columns තියෙනවා, right? But when it comes to these types of advanced analytical tools, businesses have the facility of analyzing data in different dimensions, right? Data stored in data warehouses and data marts can be further analyzed. How? Using advanced multidimensional analytical tools. So what are these tools? Such as online analytical processing and data mining. So we will be focusing on 2 different types of analytical tools in this course today. One is OLAP and the other one is data mining. So how can OLAP and data mining be helpful for businesses? They help to perform advanced analysis on these vast quantities of data, right? I hope that's clear to you. Right. Online analytical processing supports multidimensional data analysis, enabling users to view the same data in different ways using multiple dimensions, right? So the same data set can be viewed in different directions. එකම data set එක විවිධ කෝණයන්ගෙන් මේ data දිහා බලන්න analyze කරන්න පුළුවන් හැකියාව ලබා දෙනවා මේ OLAP වලින්, right? We will talk about this in detail as we move forward. Each aspect of information, such as product, pricing, cost, region, time period, represents a different dimension. Then අපි හිතමු සුපර්මාකට් එකක තියෙන data ගැන අපි සැලකිලිමත් වුණොත් එහෙම product related data තියෙන්න පුළුවන්, මේ වගේ prices related data තියෙන්න පුළුවන්, මේ වගේ costing කොහමද වෙලා තියෙන්නේ, what is the region that these products are being sold, what is the time period in which this data was sold. Likewise, the supermarket database can have these different dimensions, right? Or different angles through which we can look at data simply, right? For example, a product manager could use a multidimensional data analysis tool to learn how many washers were sold in the East in June, how that compares with the previous month and the previous June, and how it compares with sales forecast. Now here the example illustrates different dimensions that a product manager could use to look at this data in their sales database, right? Now if we look at the next figure, it will be more clearer to you. Now here it is a multidimensional data model, right? This view showing the view that is showing in the product versus region. Product dimension is here and the region dimension is here. Let's assume this data model was obtained from a supermarket, right? The මෙතන පෙන්නනවා මොනවාද sell කරලා තියෙන products, nuts, bolts, washers, screws, right? Then region එක මොකක්ද? East region එක, West region එක, Central region එක, right? If you rotate the cube 90 degrees, the face that will show is product versus actual and projected sales. Then මේ cube එක අපි 90 degrees rotate කරොත් එහෙම අපිට product versus actual and projected sales කියන මෙන්න මේ dimensions දෙක ගන්න පුළුවන්. හරි? එක dimension එකක් මේ data model එකේ. ඒ වගේම you can look at this data in form of region versus actual and projected sales, right? Likewise also you can change the dimension from which you look at this data, right? And if you take a single cube out of this data model also, let's say මෙන්න මේ කියන cube එක විතරක් මම එළියට ගත්තොත්, right? මේ nuts කොච්චර actual sell කරලා තියනවද? අපේ projected sale එක කීයද? මෙන්න මේ chunk එක විතරක් මම ගත්තොත් එහෙම මට ඒ detail එක ගන්න පුළුවන්. ඒ වගේම east region එකේ කොච්චරක් sell වෙලා තියනවද? nuts actually. දැන් east region එකේ අපේ budget එක කොච්චරක් තිබ්බද? ඔය වගේ different dimensions මේ data model එකෙන් අපිට extract කරගන්න පුළුවන්. Right? We can extract different dimensions to look at this data from the single data model, right? That's why we call it a multidimensional data model, right? So OLAP or online analytical processing helps to analyze these types of multidimensional data models, right? Which is not facilitated through a typical database management system, right? You need an advanced analytical tool such as a OLAP in order to make these types of analysis. If we go to the previous slide, you will see OLAP enables rapid online answers to ad hoc queries. not just not just very structured queries, right? As and when the requirement arises, this OLAP can help the business to make analysis on a on demand basis. අපිට හදිසියෙ මොකක් හරි requirement එකක් එන්න පුළුවන්. අපි කලින් හිතපු නැති dimension එකකින් මේ data දිහා බලන්න. එහෙම වුණා මේ OLAP tool එක use කරලා අපිට පුළුවන් easily ඒ dimension එකෙන් අපිට ඕන analysis එක කරගන්න. It's very rapid as well as it is a real time or online processing that happens, right? Now, for example, sales data in a business are being updated real time, right? Then every second the sales data gets updated, right? So this online analysis එක කිරීමේ හැකියාවක් තියෙන tool එකක් අපිට තියෙනවා. data feed කරලා තියලා පස්සේ analysis ගන්න උනොත් අපේ decision making වල delays එනවා and it's not effective. But මේ වගේ tools use කරනකොට analytical tools අපිට අර real time update වෙන data අපිට easily online analyze කරලා process කරලා අපිට understanding එකක් ගන්න පුළුවන්. I hope that is clear to you. So if there are any questions, please ask. Right? So OLAP, that was one of the advanced analytical tools that businesses use in the current context to analyze this big data. Then the second one also is there. That is data mining. Right? Data mining වලදී මොකද්ද වෙන්නේ? අපි mining කියලා කියන්නේ මොකද්ද සාමාන්‍යයෙන්? What do you mean by mining? What is a mine? What's your understanding about mining? Yes? Have you heard that word before? Any students joining the lecture from Ratnapura area? Are there any? What is mining? Haven't you heard that word before? No idea what mining is. Yeah, canning ne අපි කියන්නේ canning then පතල් කනිනවා කියලා කියන්නේ gem mining. Yeah, simply we dig deep නේද අපි කැනීමකදී අපි කරන්නේ we try to go deep into the earth, right? If we consider gem mining or any other mining process, right? It's a very in-depth digging. So data mining also the same. Now instead of the ground, what do we dig here? We dig the data. We dig it very deep. Right? අපි data mining වලදී කරන්නේ අර අපි දැන් සාමාන්‍ය පතල් කැනින් වලද පොළොව යටට හාරන් යනවනේ ඒ වගේ data ගොඩාක් in depth අපි dig කරලා බලනවා. Right? අයි අපි යම කරන්න හේතුව මේ data වල තියෙන patterns මොනවද relationships මොනවද කියලා අඳුන ගන්න තමයි අපි මේ data mining කියන එක කරන්නේ. Right? අපි in depth analysis එකක්. හරි? So what is the special feature about data mining? It's more discovery driven than OLAP. It can show us many different hidden patterns and relationships and discoveries regarding the data than in online analytical processing. OLAP වලට වඩා ගොඩක් අපි කියනවා මේක analytical power එක වැඩි. Right? Making අපිට ගන්න පුළුවන් insights වැඩි data mining වලදී. Right? So what does data mining help us do? Finds hidden patterns, relationships in large databases, and infers rules to predict future behavior. So data mining has the ability to identify certain hidden patterns in data that we cannot usually observe by just looking at the data. And certain relationships we just cannot identify by a typical database or just by analyzing the data set that we have, right? So this happens in large databases. Now we are talking about this advanced analytical tools used in big data concept. No, so that data mining කියන්නේ තර වගේ large databases වල තියෙන අපිට සාමාන්‍ය ඇනලිසිස් එකක් කරලා හොයාගන්න බැරි විදිහේ relationships patterns අපිට හොයාගන්න උදව් කරන analytical tool එකක් තමයි data mining කියලා කියන්නේ. හරි? එතකොට මේ patterns and relationships identify කරලා අපි මොකද්ද කරන්නේ business එක? Infers rules to predict future behavior. So we identify certain patterns and relationships and we use those understandings, use those patterns and relationships we identify to predict future behavior. අපි මොනවා හරි data අතර relationship එකක් අඳුනගෙන ඒක මත බේස් වෙලා ඉස්සරහදී business එකේ මොන වගේ දේවල් වෙයිද මේ වගේ behavior එකක් අපි expect කරනවා එහෙනම් මේකට අපි කොහොමද ready වෙන්නේ right අන්න ඒ වගේ behaviors predict කරන්න especially customer predictions හරි ඒවා කරන්න සහ ඒ වෙනුවෙන් business එක පැත්තෙන් මොනවාද අපිට යොදවන්න පුළුවන් strategies what are the strategies that the business can come up with in response to this predicted behavior that the business anticipates to happen in the future right so that is a useful application of data mining all right so here one example has been given one popular use for data mining is to provide detailed analysis of patterns in customer data for one-to-one marketing campaigns or for identifying profitable customers so this data mining tool can be used to do in-depth analysis of customer data, right? For example, now here Caesars Entertainment has been given, right? A gambling company, a large gambling company in the world. They use the data mining technique to identify the most profitable customers and generate more revenue from them. So how do they do this? They observe the customer data. Then අපි මේ හැම එකක්ම data කියන එක base කරගෙන මේ analysis perform කරන්නේ. So when a customer arrives at their organization, what they do is based on the spending patterns, right? What sort of activities they engage in more frequently, right? They try to create a profile of this customer and understand what sort of behaviors go together. What sort of behaviors are more frequent, right? And what sort of customers are more profitable to the business. What sort of customers keep coming back, right? They identify these in order to come up with tailor-made marketing campaigns, right? So, for example, if they can identify by analyzing the data that a particular set of customers show repetitive transactions with the company, then they can come up with a tailor-made one-to-one marketing campaign, maybe special wave off or special offers. Then okay, hotels වලින් උනත් කරනවා ගොඩක්, right? They analyze the data to identify the profitable customers, right? So if you are a customer who is continuously transacting with this hotel chain, they would give you special promotions, right? Free stays, maybe special amenities. Likewise, these types of analyses are heavily being used in this hotel industry, not even hotel industry, right? In many different industries, this is being used. Also, data mining is used for market basket analysis. Right? In market basket analysis, what happens is, you try to analyze customer data in the form of what items go together, right? For example, if someone buys a Coke, what else does he buy habitually? Maybe chips, right? So likewise, in-depth analysis happens, right? For example, this can be very useful for businesses, especially supermarkets, when they arrange supermarket aisles. අපේ supermarket වල aisles වලනේ ඒවා categorize කරලා තියෙනනේ, baby care items, laundry items, what kitchen equipment ඔය වගේ aisles වලට categorize කරලානේ තියෙන්නේ. එතකොට මේ data mining වල අපිට මේ market basket analyze කරන්න පුළුවන් customers ලාගේ purchasing patterns. හරිද? දැන් coke bottle එකක් ගන්න කෙනෙක් අපිට හිතන්න පුළුවන් දැන් data analyze කරාම අනිවාර්යෙන් එයා chips packet එකකුත් අරගෙන තියෙනවා. අන්න ඒ වගේ අපිට analyze කරන්න පුළුවන්. හරි? ඒතර මේ analyze කරාම හරි මේ data mining වලින් තමයි මේක facilitate කරන්නේ. මේ analyze කරලා අපිට මේකෙන් ගන්න පුළුවන් ප්‍රයෝජනේ මොකක්ද? අපිට පුළුවන් අපි දැන් අර different aisles අපි arrange කරනකොට supermarket එකේ අර beverages section එක ගාවම අර වගේ fast foods අපි තියනවා. Right? එතකොට අපි අර future behavior එකක් එතන predict කරනවා based on the past purchasing patterns, based on the market basket that we have analyzed. Right? So this data mining is specifically very important in and very helpful and being abundantly used for marketing campaigns. Hari marketing campaigns generate කරද්දී ගොඩක් මේ data mining use කරනවා organizations. And also in fraud detections, data mining is being used. Fraudulent අපි කියන්නේ මොනවාද? වංචනික ගනුදෙනුයි frauds analyze කරනකොට ගොඩක් ඔය police departments, the CID and this high level intelligent analyzing organizations, they do this, right? They observe fraudulent behavior. The මොකක් හරි එක sector එකක් industry එකක් bank එකක් හරි organization එකක් ගත්ත වෙන්න පුළුවන්. What are the characteristics of a proper normal type of transactions, and what do we usually see as anomaly? Any deviations from that they identify as fraudulent transactions, right? So data mining होगी मैं अभी fraud detections कराने बोला. We can do fraud detections using data mining, in-depth analysis into transactions, right? And these can be used to predict future fraudulent behavior, right? Then අනාගතයේදී මේ similar characteristics තියෙන transactions වෙනවා වගේ දැක්කොත් based on that past analytical information we have, we can take action, right? So data mining has many useful applications across many different industries. It's used in healthcare, right? Used in even education. So many different customer relationship management, right? To understand user preferences, behaviors being used, right? So that is about OLAP and data mining. Then text mining. So what is special about text mining is that now if the data is not in a specific format, we understood in the earlier explanations also, data generating from these different sources are not always in a structured format, right? Many types of data can be in unstructured format. So now we are going to talk about how those types of data can be analyzed using this feature called, or the analytical tool called, text mining, right? Unstructured data, mostly in the form of text files, is believed to account for over 80% of useful organizational information, right? Now, how can text data be generated? We learned earlier also, maybe in the form of messages, comments, texts, right? Actual text messages, right? Twitters, many different sources, emails, right? All of this is text data. So this actually can account for a very large proportion of organizations' overall information, right? So it is also considered as one of the major sources of big data that we talked about, right? And these can have a very useful insights for organization as well, right? Now, for example, let's simply take this online business. The Facebook එකේ online businesses තියෙනවානේ, maintain කරගෙන යන Facebook page එකක් කරා, right? Then ඕගොල්ලන් මොන හරි order එකක් place කරනකොට ඒ වගේ company එකක් එක්ක, organization එකක් එක්ක, you don't go and place an order in a corporate website, no. You just send in a text message, you just put in a comment, you inquire for prices, right? So likewise, data is being generated. The order එක වල place කරන්නේ formal order placing process එකක් කරා, checkout process එකක් කරා ගිහලා නෙමෙයි නේ. ඒතර text data ගොඩක් generate වෙනවා. Now imagine this is not just a small business but a very, let's say, large scale business. එතකොට ඔය messages එක comments එක analyze කරලා බලන්න ටිකක් අමාරු වෙන්න පුළුවන්, scope එක වැඩි වෙන්න, right? ඒතර මේ text mining tools helpful කරගන්න පුළුවන් organization එකට idea එකක් ගන්න මොන වගේ දේවල්ද වැඩිපුර customers ලා prefer කරන්නේ, right? What types of products do they prefer most, right? In which type of information do customers require more? ඒකත් අපිට insight එකක් වෙන්න පුළුවන්. Maybe we are not posting enough information through our pages or through our websites, right? If they keep on asking more about certain features, maybe that could be a part of our advertising next time, right? And maybe we should keep in stock more of a particular item that is being continuously demanded by the customers, right? Maybe we should eliminate certain features that customers show dislike about, right? So these types of things are very helpful for organizations when it comes to text mining. It helps organizations to analyze that type of different text-based data. Emails, memos, call center transcripts. Now, when you call, right? So there's a transcript generating from that call, right? Then audio recording අමතරව ගොඩක් organizations large scale they keep a transcript of this call. දැන් හිතන්නකෝ customer support center එකක ඔය වගේ transcripts කොච්චර generate වෙනවද? දැන් උදාහරණයක් විදිහට ඔයගොල්ලන් Mobitel එකට call කරනවා නම් හරි දවසකට කොච්චර calls එනවද Mobitel එකට dialogue එකට SLT, right? So there is a huge collection of call center transcripts. Then මේ call center transcripts වලින් මොකක්ද customers ලගේ key issue එක කියලා කොහොමද identify කරගන්නේ? It's not easy to employ staff and manually or physically go through each of these transcripts and identify the issue, right? If they want to do an in-depth analysis, these kinds of text mining tools are very helpful for organizations to do that kind of analysis, right? And also maybe survey responses. You are doing a market survey to gather customer ideas, right? Always these survey responses are not in a questionnaire format. Sometimes you go and interview the consumers, no? And then maybe you are transcribing the responses. So how do you convert this into analytical form, right? How do you identify what is important out of what is being said, right? So service reports, patent descriptions, legal cases, all these things valuable for finding patterns and trends that will help employees make better business decisions, right? For example, now in a call center, Mobitel the Mobitel එක අපි උදාහරණයක් විදිහට ගත්තොත් they can use this type of analytical tool to get an idea about what is the most filed complaint. අපිට over the phone එන වැඩිපුරම complaint එක මොකක්ද? ඒක base කරගෙන they can predict future behavior as well as an action plan. Right? They can do an in-depth analysis. Is it on network coverage? Right? Then SLT Mobitel they have merged together. So now it's going as SLT Mobitel. So maybe the highest reported complaint is about connections, data connections, speeds, right? Packages, these kinds of things. So based on that, they can also change their business strategy. So text mining is very helpful to do these kinds of, to take these kinds of business initiatives, right? And also text mining is very being abundantly used in this suggestions and recommendation systems. Or then Amazon එකේ වගේ ඔයගොල්ලන් ගිහින් බැලුවොත් suggestions and recommendations වලට එනවා නේද? So for those kinds of applications also text mining is being very heavily used, right? To identify popular keywords that is being used by the customer, search terms, hari ඔන්න ඔය වගේ ඒවා analyze කරලා text data analyze කරලා අර වගේ suggestions recommend systems වලට link කරනවා. That is also linked to web mining, which we are going to talk next, right? Then even in monitoring public opinions, right? Text mining is very helpful. Let's say an organization is promoting something, right? They are initiating a marketing campaign. Then by using this text mining, they can analyze the attitudes of the consumers based on the comments they have posted. What is the popular opinion, right? So likewise, very useful applications, many useful applications of text mining are there for businesses, right? Also, text mining tools can be used to extract key elements from unstructured big data sets that I explained to you earlier, discover patterns and relationships, and summarize the information. Like I mentioned, are there any particular patterns arriving? Now, for example, if we take a call center transcript, right? Let's say abundantly there is a request to disconnect the current package, current connection. Then maybe attached to the same, if we analyze, you can also identify perhaps that this customer is being repeatedly not paying their bill, right? And continuously being reported as an unprofitable customer, as well as maybe coming from an area where the signal, the network strength is not very much established from your organization, right? Or maybe when you analyze their profiles, maybe that person is coming from a specific demographic background, maybe a student or maybe a specific uh, occupation which is not where this data is not very much required to do their job. Likewise, patterns and relationships can be identified so that you can predict this kind of customers, there is a high tendency for them to discontinue our service in the future, right? Likewise, those kinds of patterns can be identified. Or maybe they have, prior to this call, they have also logged in a complaint that there's a poor network connectivity. There has been several complaints coming from these kinds of customers 2-3 times earlier also, that there is an issue with the connection. So those types of customers tend to discontinue the package. Likewise, they can be analyzed. So here they have been illustrating that example. Business might turn to text mining to analyze transcripts of calls to customer service centers, identify major service repair issues, measure customer sentiment about their company, right? Okay. Then the last thing we are going to talk about today is about web mining. Now, web mining is also a data mining technique, but it is used to discover and extract information from web documents, right? It's related to web documents, website, right? A different application of data mining when it comes to analyzing web pages, web documents, right? So web is another rich source of unstructured big data for revealing patterns, trends, and insights into customer behavior. Just like text mining, in web mining also, it is helpful for us to identify these kinds of different patterns, trends, and insights when it comes to customer behavior. Discovery and analysis of useful patterns and information from the World Wide Web is called web mining. Now, when it comes to identifying these types of things from the World Wide Web, right? Patterns, trends, insights from the World Wide Web, you call it web mining. Businesses might turn to web mining to help them understand customer behavior. Just like previous times, once again, customer behavior can be understood by doing an in-depth analysis. So like I was mentioning, sorry about the interruption, like in previous instances, how customers behavior on an online platform, right? What sort of behavior do they show in terms of switching between different pages, right? How they link to different types of users within the website, right? Likewise, those kinds of behaviors of customers can be understood, right? And then again, this web mining has different types of categories, right? Web content mining is there, web structure mining is there, web usage mining is there. I'm not going to go into detail about that. So in each of these categories, there's a different purpose that which businesses can accomplish. Is there an issue? Yes, I will show the previous slide at the end. Yes, sure, I'll do that. Okay. So likewise, different applications of web mining is there, right? And this helps to evaluate the effectiveness of different websites for organizations as well, right? The usability of the website, right? And the user friendliness of it may be based on how the customer interacts with the website, right? And also to quantify the success of a marketing campaign. That means after the marketing campaign, how many people have visited our website, right? Maybe by placing a certain advertisement on the social media or on other different types of, let's say, platforms like Google or Yahoo, how many people got referred to our website, right? What was the link? If many people got referred to our website or the landing page from a particular advertisement which we published on a portal like Google, then you can get an idea about the effectiveness of that marketing campaign of yours, right? So likewise, many useful applications of web mining can be there, right? What is the success rate, or what is the rate at which our sales increased or our website increased after this particular marketing campaign? Those kinds of useful analysis can be done. So have you heard of this analytical web, especially web mining techniques such as Google Insights, which Google is using? Have you heard of them? Google Trends, Google Insights. They have their own web mining tools which help them to understand what are the buzzwords, what is popular, right? What is being more demanded by customers, people, community in general in a particular time period, right? What are the preferences of people during a particular time period? I will, it's actually very interesting. I will quickly share with you certain insights that is being generated by this Google Trends. Give me a minute here. Yeah, found it. Okay, can you see my screen now? I hope so, right? So if you look at this now, this is Google Trends, right? Now Google Trends uses these mining techniques to understand what is trending, what is the most trending search, or to understand web user behavior, right? Now, for example, here in latest stories and insights, so they have found that the Lunar New Year has been popular search interest in the past week, right? And then if we go down, now Valentine's Day has been a very popular topic during the past week, right? More searched what? Chocolates, flowers, these things have been searched, right? So this is web mining. Then this is a TV show, The Bachelor season 25 has been like trending, and as well as what are the recently trending things, right? Daft Punk, then Bobby Shmurda, Epic, likewise, these things have been trending. Then they also perform analysis each year, what has been trending, right? Per each year, what was the year like, right? Even you may have seen these things are Google's year in review කියලා එනවා නේද ඔයගොල්ලන්. Facebook year in review කියලා එහෙම ඔයගොල්ලන්ට එනවා නේද? අවුරුද්ද ඉවර වෙනකොට. ඔය ඔක්කොම මේ data mining වල results තමයි, right? So here if we look at year in search 2020, see what was trending in 2020. Now here they are showing in United States. We can select from here a country we want, right? Then in the United States, election results was very popular too, right? Coronavirus, Kobe Bryant, the basketball player, coronavirus update, it has been very popular, right? Then Kamala Harris, the Prime Minister. Very useful insights ගන්න පුළුවන්. So in terms of actors, they were very much talked about these types of athletes. Then babies, beauty, how to cut men's hair at home has been trending. What might have been the reason? Maybe due to quarantine, right? Maybe due to quarantine, people were stuck at home. Maybe they were curious how to cut men's hair at home. Maybe it was popular, right? So very useful insights. You also can go through these things and see how they convert. Now what is important is how they convert these insights into strategies. මේ strategies base කරගෙන අපිට මොනවද ගන්න පුළුවන් insights කියන එක තමයි වැදගත්, right? Business opportunities මොනවද? අපි websites redesign කරන්න ඕනේද? right? මේ වගේ දේවල් understand කරලා අපිට ඒ වගේ important decisions ගැනීමේ හැකියාව තියෙනවා. Right, so I hope you're clear on that. There's a video also here in search. You can go to Google Trends, play this and see. It's very interesting how they have collated the entire lineup of the year based on these trending things. So how do they identify trends? Through mining, right? Through web mining, through surfing between web pages, identifying keywords, identifying most popular search terms, identifying user behavior in between different web pages, right? මේ වගේ ලොකු commercial purpose එකක් තියෙනවා. දැන් website එකකට identify කරගන්න පුළුවන් අපේ website එකට ආපු අය ඊට කලින් මොන website එකක ඉඳලාද අපිට direct වුනේ. ඒ වගේම අපේ site එකෙන් යන අය අපෙන් ඇයි bounce වෙන්න හේතුව. හරි ඒවා base කරගෙන very important strategic decisions you can arrive. It's very interesting area, this data mining, web mining. If you have time, do have a small research on your part as well, right? So that is about the content that I hope to cover today. So there was a request to go to the previous slide before the lecture ended. So here is that slide. Right. So any questions so far? Today we talked about very interesting applications of databases on how they can be helpful for improving business performance. Right. So any questions you have so far, any clarifications, anything that was not clear, or anything you would like to share with the class? You want to see the slide number 6 and 3. Okay. Could you please let me know once you finish on slide number 10? Is it okay for me to shift from this slide to slide 6 and 3? Those who requested, if you can tell me if it's okay, I can move to this. Right, so I'm going to move from this one, right? So you want to see slide 6. Right, this is slide 6. Let me know if it's okay to move from this to slide 3. And slide 3. Is all okay? Can we conclude the lecture? Right. Okay, great. So from that point, I will be stopping the lecture for the question, or is it? Right.